Let's talk about special segments of triangles in more depth in this episode of Mrs. M's Math to the Masses in a minute or two. So we learned a mnemonic device. It's a saying, and we have it pictured, that's going to remind you of 4 of the 5 special segments. We said mid-segments are their own segment. We did a separate video because they do not have a point of concurrency. But altitudes, perpendicular bisectors, medians, and angle bisectors, when you draw 2 or more on a triangle, meet. And the way to remember their special segments is an odd peanut butter cup may contain apple butter instead. So here's the first picture, altitudes, which always originate at a vertex and extend to the side across, and they're perpendicular to the side across. So here's a vertex perpendicular here. Here's a vertex, you had to extend this side to be perpendicular to it. And again, this vertex, we had to come down to be perpendicular to this extended side. All 3 met way up here at the orthocenter. Altitudes meet at the orthocenter. It can be inside, on, or outside the triangle when you connect it, depending on if the triangle is acute, obtuse, or right. The next triangle special segment, and we'd like to look at perpendicular bisectors, peanut butter cup. So they start at a midpoint on the side, extend up from the midpoint, perpendicular to the side, and when they meet, it also can be in, on, or outside the triangle. What you end up with is a circumcenter where they intersect, and that is where you can circumscribe a circle. This would be a great place to put a helicopter on a helipad equidistant from 3 different towns that are represented by the vertices of the triangle. The next example, medians, also from a midpoint, extend up to the vertex of each angle, and they are always inside the triangle, no matter if the triangle is acute, right, or obtuse. And they are called the centroid. You'll see it again in physics. It is the center of gravity of every triangle. A sculptor would balance his artwork there if he physically had a triangle suspended, or perhaps you're making a mobile with triangles. That's where you would pin the string to the triangle to make it balance. The last example is when you divide the angles in half on a triangle. They will meet at what's called the incenter. It'll be a perpendicular distance back to each side that is equidistant from each side. So if this were a park and there were roads on all sides, you would put a statue here so everyone would have a point to see it that is equidistant from the road. So again, the same was and odd for altitudes meet at the orthocenter. Peanut butter cup for perpendicular bisectors meet at the circumcenter. May contain for medians meet at the centroid. Apple butter instead for angle bisectors meet at the incenter.